welcome back to my channel. It's Megan here, and happy Thursday, and more importantly, happy first day of Bookmas. If you don't know, Bookmas is a series I do annually, and I believe that BookTube in general does annually, where I do a video for every day of December, and it is Bookmas. They're all like holiday-ish themed or bookish themed. I am throwing in some movie content this year, so stay tuned for that, because I want this to kind of mold into a channel that does movies and book reviews, so like all entertainment. What is happening with my bangs? Someone told me today that I look like Jewel with my new bangs, like Jewel. I think she's a singer. Someone said I look like her today, so I guess we're rolling with the Jewel look. But today is day 1, and it is the November wrap-up, and it is also the October wrap-up. In the months of October and November, I read a collective 4 books. It was kind of a rough 2 months for me. I guess this is a wrap-up / life update video. Back in October, I found out I have a brain tumor, which was really frightening to find out about. I went in for an MRI for headaches, and they found a tumor on my pituitary, and so I had to go in for an additional MRI to like really hone in on the pituitary gland. So I have a 0.6 millimeter brain tumor on my pituitary gland, or pituitary tumor on my pituitary gland, whatever you want to call it, a microadenoma. Luckily, they say this is the best brain tumor to have. Not that any brain tumor is good to have, but it's very livable. It's almost always benign, and if they do have to do surgery, they can go through the nose in a non-invasive type of surgery for removing it. All good things. Right now, I'm currently in a waiting game with my doctors to find out if I have to get surgery or not. Hopefully, I do not. So I will keep you guys updated, but that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. It's been about a month and a half since I found out. So I read 2 books before finding out, and then I read 2 books last weekend. So from like October 13th until like last weekend, I did not read a single word of anything, and it was just a really bad reading slump, but I feel like that's kind of understandable. But that's also why I haven't been posting as much. It's why I've been kind of absent from like group chats, if you've had me in group chats. So just, yeah, a little fun life update that is kind of frightening, but we're here. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, let me know in the comments below. But let's get into the bookish content, shall we? So in October, I started with the Left-Handed Booksellers of London. I ended up DNFing this one. I just could not get into it. It was pretty slow for me, and I was just already starting to enter a reading slump, so I just really could not get into it. And I've been in a very like declutter, unhaul mood, and just like get rid of the things that are not bringing me joy recently. So because I was not like instantly pulled in by it, I ended up unhauling it already and passing it on and DNFing it. So that was the first book of October. The second book of October was actually a reread for me, and that was Girls of Paper and Fire. I reread this on audiobook, and it was enjoyable. It wasn't as good on audiobook for me, so I do think I want to reread it physically. My goal was to reread this as well as Girls. Yep, I just turned into Gru there. Girls just wanna have fun. But Girls of Storm and Shadow and Storm, I think it's Storm and Shadow, and then read Girls of Fate and Fury, which I have not read yet. So just reread the first 2 of the trilogy and then read the 3rd of the trilogy to kind of complete that. Girls of Paper and Fire is one of my favorite books of 1920, one of those 2 years, but Girls of Storm and Shadow kind of ruined it for me. I wasn't as into Girls of Storm and Shadow, so I was interested to see what I thought of Girls of Fate and Fury. I only reread this book I started Girls of Storm and Shadow and then found out about the Tumor and haven't picked it up since. So I'm not gonna count that one. Book 2 was a reread. And then book 3 was actually a new read. That was The Nature of Witches. This was such a cute story, definitely perfect fall vibes. This is by Rachel Griffin and it follows a young witch who is learning how to deal with her elemental powers. She is a very unique witch in that she can conjure the elements in all 4 seasons, whereas most witches can only conjure for 1 season. She is like the key to some like prophecy or something, and is going to like restore balance or something like that. It is her job to do so, but she's like not quite learned how to use her powers yet. So it was just a fun little elemental witch school vibe. Again, perfect for like a cozy fall read, and I really enjoyed this one. Wow, we're already through October. Woo! November, last month, or last weekend rather, I read 2 books. Both of them were NetGalley books that I needed to review. First we have Before I Do. This one follows 2 different timelines. We're following present day, which is, or rather kind of 3 different timelines now that I think about it. One's like present, one's like past present, in which we're talking about things that happened like, okay, let me rephrase. We are following a girl who is getting married. We're following 3 different sort of timelines. We're following her first love, her first romance. We're following her love / romance with the guy she's getting married to. And then we're also following present day wedding shenanigans. So there's kind of 3 different timelines, 3 different character like arcs for this character. I think that the author did an excellent job of like balancing the timelines and balancing the romances. There were times I felt like I didn't know who the main character was going to end up with, which I really liked because I can almost always tell, and I really couldn't at first until about 3/4 in, I want to say, who she was going to end up with. And I really liked it. Just kind of felt like a love letter to letting go of what ifs, or letting go of what you expected from your life kind of thing. And I really liked it. So I highly recommend that one. And then the other one was, oh gosh, what was it? One Last Gift. So One Last Gift, we are following a girl who has fallen in love with her brother's best friend, and he kind of slights her, so there's like a second chance romance later on. So it's got that second chance romance, it's got grief, it's got loss, it's got Christmas holidays. Perfect mixture of like heart-wrenching and heartwarming. Definitely like a Hallmark vibe. If you enjoy Hallmark movies, I would definitely recommend this book for you. So that is One Last Gift. So those are the 5 books I've read in this past 2 months. Sorry, it's not a lot. I am currently in the middle of Stalking Jack the Ripper and 4 Aunties and a Wedding. So those are hopefully in my December wrap up, but for now I only have the 5 completed, or rather 4 completed and 1 DNF'd book to share with you. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be books on my holiday wish list. And then I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy day 1 of Bookmas, and I'll check in with you later. Bye friends!